Hi everyone, it's Cindy. Welcome back to Studioloo. So I am getting started on a new journal today. I had talked a bit about it the other day, I was going to use, and I am going to use, this dress that used to be my daughter's, and I have now cut all of the ribbing of the pockets and the neck off so that I can sort of harvest this beautiful fabric. And I'm going to also use this vintage-ish tea towel. So this one, I'm not really into like the kissing kids. It's not really my thing, but I do love this part of it, and I love the rest all around it. So it's really cool. It's a wool. It's actually made of wool. It's a really nice tea towel. So we're going to get started working away on this. And what I've grabbed are 2 large mailing envelopes. So, you know, you could make a journal with obviously one of them. I want more play space. I want to have the option to like make this journal where I put a spine here maybe, and I might add like some pages here. I might put another spine over here. I don't know. I'm going to just play with this a little bit and see what I want to do. So I am going to, right on the glue flaps here, I've taken this piece of, this is a folder, and I'm just going to trim it to the same size as the envelope. Okay, so sorry, I had to take a tiny little break. So I've bent this folder to the same width as the envelope. Then I will use, I'm just actually going to use glue stick to glue it down. I don't need it to be, it's not going to be only held on by glue because it's going to be stitched. So we don't need to get serious with our glue. Although this will hold it just fine. Okay, so now we have a spine there, and that is good. So then I'll just do a fold here, kind of get an idea of where I want everything to fold. Yep. And then the same thing on this side, I'll do another fold. And then I'll glue this flap down from the other side, from the other envelope. It's just kind of hanging around there. Here we go. Okay, so now we're going to have this big long thing. So I think what I'm going to probably do is put signatures in here, and then maybe some more over here that will just be like a fold. And then so we'll have the signatures here, they'll be sitting like this, and then I'll have another bit of signatures there on this fold, and then this whole book will fold over this way, and then we'll have a bit of a flap left over to cover it. So what I want to do today is just work on collaging the cover. So this side is going to be the outside cover, and then I will later on determine what I want to put on the inside. I do that more toward the end once I feel whatever kind of the theme is going to be. So we're going to do this like a patchwork kind of again. I really loved doing the patchwork with the last one of this style that I made. I felt like it was a lot of fun. So let's just start by cutting this sleeve off of this little dress, this cute little jumper, and then I'm going to remove this bit that has the seam. And you could definitely like lay this all out on a fabric mat, and you could use a roller and have an absolutely perfect, you know, square that doesn't have these jiggy jaggy edges. But what I'm telling you is it probably doesn't matter, because I'm going to be like collaging, fabric collaging, and then I'm going to be stitching. So I'm not going to stress myself about that a whole lot. So I'm just going to start here in the center by just covering all this in glue. This is right where the spine is on the inside. So whatever I put here is going to be on the spine. And I'm going to overshoot it a little so that it hangs off the bottom edge, because then I'll be able to cut like a nice clean edge afterward. You could also wrap it around and glue it on the other side, but I don't want to do that because I don't want the extra bulk on the other side. So then this is where we start to cut into this as well. So the first thing I'm going to check is if I can tear this. Yeah, I can. Perfect. So I just want to tear the whole edge off of the tea towel because it is doubly thick, and I don't want the thickness. It would be really hard for the sewing machine to deal with those seams. Okay, there we go. I will use this for something else. It's great, nice, thick, lovely fabric. Okay, so then let's pull this. So I will start by just clipping here, tearing this as a strip if I can. We'll see. Yep, I can. And that will give me a little bit to work with here. You just have to kind of pull and stretch a little bit because the cloth does, you know, get a few threads, and it does get a little stretched until you've sorted it back out again. And I throw all of these into my Ort, which is this jar, where I use these threads for different things, in collage, or sometimes I make a whole journal cover with them, which I can show you another day. I have a video on how to do it with little scraps of fabric and water soluble, what's that stuff called? Water soluble. It's the stuff that you line fabric with to kind of give it more girth, and I totally forget the name all of a sudden. I've been doing that a lot this week. I'm like, what is wrong with my brain? It's okay. Okay. I have to pay attention to the time today because my daughter has her swimming class. So I get to go hang out in a swimming class room for a while. It's going to be very warm and stuffy, and I will of course be wearing a mask, so it's okay though. There we go. Put this piece here. So that's what will be on that spine. That will be very cute on that spine. Then we need to cut more of this fabric. I take this bottom off of this too. I don't know if this one will tear though. We'll see. It's kind of like t-shirt fabric, so sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. This one seems like it will. All right. Then we have a tag here. Take the tag off. And maybe I will cut right across here a little. See if I can tear that into a strip. I can. Perfect. So we get to the seam. Because I'm trying to get sort of squares and rectangles if possible. Now this is going to want to fray up because it is t-shirt material. this piece off. Hopefully. It's kind of going against the grain, but it worked. All right, now let's cut another piece. There we go. We have 2 pieces now. So I'll add this one right over here. Oh, go a little higher so it hangs off the edge just a little bit. There we go. See those little wrinkles? You just have to kind of give them a little pull because this is a woven fabric. Okay, we'll put that one there. I think I finally used up all of those glue sticks that were squishy. Oh my goodness. I'm hoping I have. There's not another box of them hiding somewhere that I will have to then suffer through using up again. Because I will do that. I'm not going to waste them. Okay, we'll put that one down there. And I might consider actually another, like a third fabric too. I'll see. To kind of break the colors up, but we'll see. So I'll need something to go over this edge a little bit. And what I might do is grab another piece. Whoops. That would be my alarm. Another piece of this, and I'll just take from the border. This and put it there. We're just basically building like a patchwork quilt, right? But in a much easier way than having to piece it and everything. Yay! And then this piece I'll probably put down here. Or possibly over here. Yeah, over there. I like that better. I don't know what I'm going to do today. The weather was so beautiful yesterday that I spent the whole day outside because it's that time of year where I feel really guilty if I don't go outside. And I mean, I should go outside every day for my body, but you know, to walk around, which I try to do anyways. But, you know, if you feel like you just want to stay home and work on your art or something, like I often do, it's like days where the weather is so beautiful and they're precious before winter. I feel like you can hibernate in the winter a little bit. Don't do that now. So, but I'm just really I want to like create while I have the creative spirit, you know what I mean? I have to take advantage of those things. Though I don't really get a lot of creator slump. Every now and then, I mean, I can't say it never happens, but it's thankfully at this time in my life a little infrequent. I have definitely desire slump in other things in life, but not with making art at the moment. All right, let's get this calendar part out. Oh yeah, this is a strongly woven towel. All these strings. But I'm excited because this journal, I'm going to use my November Journal Together Club kit from my Patreon, and I'm really excited to use it. But I can't show it to you after until after November 1st. So this is kind of just getting started, this stage. Because I am also going to be working on my Howl's Moving Castle journal. So this, I think I'll get the cover ready. I might make some ephemera that's not relating to the kit, and then, yeah, then I will work with the kit after November 1st. All right, now, what do we want to do here? Maybe I will use this calendar. If you used a rolling cutter rather than tearing, or you just use scissors and you cut, you won't get all the threads that I'm getting. Just going to give this a little bit of a tug. Glued this little piece of paper to myself. There we go. Flatten that down. I'm tempted to just carry that pattern across. I think that's cute. So let's do that. All right. And then is there a piece of this that I could use? I think maybe little, the dress is really cute. I think I could use this piece above this little doll. Yeah, that's nice. Put that right there. And I will clip off. Actually, I'll leave it. Stick this on. And I can play the fill in the gap game after at the end here, I think. Not too worried about that. So what I can do is I can just snip off like little pieces of this towel and fill the gap in after. This one's nice because it's got some flowers. Okay. Let's move to this other side now. Right. So I'll take this nice big piece here, I think, and we'll use it in the corner maybe. And then we need more of the dress. Okay. But this is a really nice way to use up old clothes. If you don't have any and you want to like thrift some, you can definitely just launder them. I always launder everything before I use it on a journal. Just make sure you launder because clothing can have, you know, germs and such. I still remember when I was in high school, my girlfriend, I forget what happened. We were going somewhere and something happened to her pants. Like she got like a stain on her pants and she didn't want to have the stain when we were going, you know, somewhere. So, you know, sometimes we do what we know we shouldn't, right? And we were walking past like what they called at the time in my town, the second time around store. It was like a ladies auxiliary used clothing kind of store. So she's like, you know what, I'll pick up a pair of pants in there. And I said, yeah, but like we can't wash them. And she's like, I know, I don't know what to do. But you know, she really wanted to get new pants and she didn't want to have to like, you know, go and spend a lot of money because we were high school students and we didn't have a lot of money. So we went to, you know, the second time around store, and they sold articles of clothing there. They used to have the most awesome sales, like fill a grocery bag for $1. Like everything was so inexpensive, but like they would have these special days. But I'll get to that in a minute. But she bought a pair of pants and she wore them and we went, I think we were going to a concert, like a local band show, and within a couple of days she developed some kind of a rash on her waist, like in the waistband kind of area. And she's like, no, it's probably like, what is that called? Impetigo or something? That skin rash that like kids often get. I think that's what it was. I can't remember. But like she was just like, oh, I do what I shouldn't do one time and look what happens. I said, I know. We even talked about this, but like, you know, every now and then you find yourself in one of those situations and you have to decide, am I willing to risk impetigo to see this concert? And when you're in high school, sometimes the answer is yes. I forget who said it. It's like some famous like psychiatrist, and I can't remember. Like, I remember reading about this statement once, and it was like children can't see around corners, you know, so that's what their parents have to help them do. That was one of those times. Risk assessment, not our strong point. Yeah, but anyways, so yeah, the second time around, the ladies auxiliary, I used to love going there in high school because I went through this, what I call my hack and slash period of my life, where I would cut up clothing and reimagining it using the sewing machines in my high school, like, what was the name of the room, I forget now what they called, like kind of like, you know, home studies class or something. They had sewing machines in there, so I went through a little hack and slash period, and a lot of it actually was even hand sewing and stuff. So I would like patchwork things, and I would modify my jeans and stuff, and you know, the stuff you get into when you're a kid. So I used to buy old men's suits, like, because there's a lot of those in that. Well, there wasn't that store, but I see them in most thrift stores, lots of old men's suits. And I would modify the jackets and make myself these, like, you know, fun kind of jackets and vests and things to wear that were from old men's clothes. And, like, they were really fun. So, like, you have to kind of, I would cut the shoulders out, like the shoulder padding and all of that. And, I would pull the seams in on the sides so that I could make it smaller to fit my smaller frame. And yeah, it was really cool. It was a lot of fun. And I was like, this is, you know, very stylish when you're 15 to 17-ish is when I did that, I guess. So yeah. I'll put a little more of that right there just to cover up that. Okay, so we now have this fully patchworked piece of fabric. Somewhere is my glue lid right there. All right, so what I'm going to do is go to the sewing machine and sew it. So just to kind of give you an idea of what we're looking at, This will work sort of how? Oh, like this? No, like this, then like this. Okay, and then this will be like a flap. Okay, so I'm going to stitch all of this now. I'm basically going to go around the edges of everything, and then sometimes what I'm going to do is maybe I'll pull, actually I might do that now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to push this edge underneath because it's not straight where this one is straight. And I'll just do that a little bit where I want, you know, a straighter looking line, like this one definitely. The towel, because I was able to tear the towel, can give me a nice straighter line than what this dress can, because it has a little bit of a stretch to it. It is cotton, but it has a little stretch. They put like about, you know, 10% poly in there so that it can stretch. So what I'll do is let it dry a little bit, probably before I glue it, just because I am pulling up the seams. And one thing when you're doing this is, you know, let the glue dry a little if it's exposed, because you will gum up your sewing machine. I promise you that. You don't want to do that. Okay, and then I'll just maybe add a little extra glue here where I lifted it, so it doesn't get pulled up. If you're not lifting any seams and you're not going to have any stickiness, you can go ahead and stitch. You don't need to wait, but just because I've lifted a few seams like this, I see there's quite a bit of glue under there. I am going to give it some time, but I just think overall this does neaten it up a little. And I don't know if I could have maybe done this all in one go as I was piecing it down. I'm not sure, but you know, this is the kind of perfecting part. Get it down perfectly how you want. Get this little phrase out. I love the little frayed strings. Okay, so I think I'm happy with all those edges. So I'm going to just let this dry for a little bit. I will stitch it next. Then from there, I will start to think about the papers that I'm going to be putting inside here, and how many signatures and such. So probably it'll be about 4 to 5 signatures on the main center spine, and then maybe 2 more over on the other side. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, so 4 or 5 here, and the papers will lay like, you know, this direction, and then a couple more on the single, maybe 1 or 2 more. This will be a nice fat book, I think. Okay, so that's it for me for now. I will be back again. I have a couple things in mind. I made last night a couple collage strips just as I was hanging about, so maybe I'll show you how I made those in another video. I may even use them a little bit in this journal. They're a lot of fun to make. I'm kind of on like a scrap busting mission right now too. I really want to bust all of my, not all, but a lot of my paper scraps. I have a lot of paper scraps. So yeah, okay, well thank you for joining me, and I hope you have a good day. We will talk again very soon, and bye for now.